Welcome to the Protagonist Pub. My name is Tammy, and this is where characters gather. So, I know I'm walking on sunshine. Oh, I'm walking on sunshine. Oh. I said I did a summer TBR, and while that is still valid, what exists on it, I'm not going to lie here. I overcorrected and I didn't do a lot of reading from, I can't reach it, the middle of June to like Fireball. I can't reach it. The middle of the beginning of July. And it does not work for my brain. It does not work for my creativity, for writing. So I'm going to have an August TBR. / really, it's a pile of possibilities. I know there are only 3 books on this entire list. I'm expecting myself to finish before the end of August. Everything else would be a great choice for me to finish by the end of August. But given the length of some of these books, that is unrealistic. So I'm going to divide it up in between the already in process books. And for most of those, they're not very far along. Okay, last one, and then we're going to take a break for a little bit because it's too hot for you. And then all the books I haven't yet started. So let's do the in processes first. First up would be Anna Karenina. Have I picked this up since last time I showed it to you? No, I don't believe I have. Do I still want to read it this year? Yes. Yes, I do. Have I been in the mood for Russian literature? No, absolutely not. So, next up would be Lilac Girls by Martha Hall Kelly. I have started this. I'm a third of the way through, maybe almost half the way through. Yeah, I'm almost halfway through. I am enjoying this. However, the content got a little heavy, and we all know World War II isn't my favorite genre. So, I will finish this. I am very invested in this story. I just needed to be in the right frame of mind to pick it up, back up. So this is one of the ones I will finish before the end of August. And if I finish no other book on this list before the end of August, specifically the end of the 24th of August, I will finish Gone with the Wind. The reason for the 24th is because of the next book. I am 160 pages into this. I'm enjoying it immensely. It isn't because I'm not enjoying Gone with the Wind. Again, it's been a headspace issue. And the reason I have to finish it by the 24th, which is a personal goal, because on the 25th, I am once again participating in 100 Days of Dante. Miriam and I are going to do it together this year. And I am determined this year to keep up with 100 days and to finish the Divine Comedy over those 100 days. So that means I need to check Gone with the Wind off my list. And I will do that. Okay. Okay, so up next are the books I haven't yet started. There is only one electronic digital book. That is Summer at Fraser's Mill by Ursi Ingreston. I probably just butchered her last name. This is her debut novel. It is Catholic fiction, and it is a, rom-com. So, or at least a romance. I will read you the description for this one. All Grace Murray wants is to do something important with her life. But that's hard to do in the tiny town of Fraser's Mill, Michigan, where she grew up. Now living in Los Angeles, preparing to become a national board certified teacher at a prestigious school, Grace sees her big dreams almost within her grasp. But when her dad breaks his foot and her catalytic converter gets stolen, everything changes. Knock it off. Grace is dismayed to learn that her parents' small grocery store will struggle while her dad's foot heals and that she won't get her car back for months. There's only one thing there's only one thing to go back to, Fraser's Mill. For the summer, in her old hometown, Grace tries to fill her dad's shoes in the grocery store. Meanwhile, she clashes with the irritatingly handsome young doctor next door. James, Doc Johnson, Pickles the bird, eat your lunch. As she gets more involved in the grocery store improvements and a flurry of small town summer happenings, Grace realizes she's falling behind on preparations for the all-important National Board certification. But when she learns that the new dollar store in town may jeopardize her family's business, and as she finds, to her surprise, that Doc isn't actually as irritating as she thought. You want to shower today? Yeah, I didn't think so. She has to decide what's really more important to her plans, really more important to her. Plans for a prestigious career in California, or Doc, the store, and the warm little community of Fraser's Mill. I think it sounds fantastic. It came out in February of this year. It's on Kindle Unlimited, and I know I'm going to read this one. Okay, so, what else? I did pick up Martha's Vineyard Beach and Book Club by Martha Hall Kelly. This is a library book. It is due in a little over 2 weeks, and I need to get on it because the wait list is long. It's just it's 301 pages, so this isn't going to be difficult. I just need to sit down and read it, and it's dual timeline. It's 2016 and 1942, so that's 2 Martha Hall Kelly books on my list. And the other book that I fully intend to read in August, I should have read it in June. Sharon, please forgive me. I have not been in the headspace for this. I am currently in the headspace for it. That is The Fix Up by Sharon M. Peterson. This is the 3rd book in the Two Hearts, Texas series, but they can all be read as standalones. We all know I love Sharon. I will read you the back. Ellie Stearns is a 28-year-old single mother who only ever seems to date seriously questionable men. But she's just inherited both a home and a thriving cafe, so life's looking up. The catch? Only half belongs to Ellie. The other half goes to the previous owner's grandson, Gilbert Dalton. Maybe absurdly handsome. But his frown never wavers, and he has a chip on his shoulder the size of a small country. Ellie would happily spend the rest of her life avoiding him. But to claim their inheritance, they must first live on the property together for 6 months. For Ellie, the house and the cafe are her future. For Gil, they're part of a past he wants nothing to do with. She wants to stay. He is determined to sell. Will they be able to decide what comes next without going to war with Ellie's whisk and Gil's tool belt for weapons? But Pickles the bird. But somewhere between the snarky notes they leave around the place and discovering a heartbreaking secret about the house's previous owner, Ellie and Gil might learn that frustration can turn into sizzling chemistry and hate can turn into not hate. And that's basically only one step away from love. I have loved every Sharon book I have ever read. This is the longest I have ever waited on a new Sharon release, and I'm floored by that. So it's available on Kindle Unlimited. I'm probably going to read it via Kindle Unlimited so that Sharon earns money off of that, because why wouldn't I? And I love this cover. I love that Ellie is on the spine. So, okay, the rest of these are all, if I get to them, I would be so thrilled. And if I don't get to them, they will just continue to sit there and chatter at me silently as I walk by the bookcase. This is book 3 in the Expanse series. This is Abaddon's Gate. As you know, I've been wanting to read this for months now. It is 539 pages. I really want to get to this. And once I manage to open it, it will go very quickly. But again, it's a matter of sitting down and being able to open it. So, okay. And this is Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir. And yeah, this is a brand new book. And thanks to Amazon, it came, beat up. Not happy about that. Dave and I saw the trailer for the movie that releases next year, and he's like, we need to watch that. I'm like, I haven't read the book. He's like, go buy the book. So I bought the book. And it is 478 pages. I've heard nothing but praise for this book. It is very high on my list, but again, what book do I not say that about? Okay, one more book listed, or sitting here. That is Sophia House by Michael O'Brien. This is the 4th book in the, what is the name of this series? Children of Dust. It's right here. And this is the prequel to the book I am supposedly currently buddy reading with Laura over at Cohen Cottage. I will link her in the description, her Instagram in description. This is Catholic dystopian fiction, and it is part of a 6-book series. This is book 4 in the series, so they're really 2 trilogies. And the 3rd trilogy is all about Father Elijah, which is the book I'm supposed to be reading with Lauren, but my brain is screaming at me that it's the 2nd book and not the 1st book, and so there you go. And I will read you the first paragraph at the back. Sophia House is set in Warsaw during the Nazi occupation. Paweł Tarnowski, I butchered that, a bookseller, gives refuge to David Schaefer, a Jewish youth who has escaped from the ghetto, and hides him in the attic of the bookshop. Throughout the winter of 1942 to 1943, hunted by the looming threat of discovery, they discuss good and evil, sin and redemption, literature and philosophy, and their respective religious views of reality. Decades later, David converts to Catholicism and becomes the Carmelite priest Father Elijah Schaefer, called by the Pope to confront the Antichrist in Michael O'Brien's best-selling novel, Father Elijah, An Apocalypse. Thus, you now understand why my brain is, talking to me about reading them out of order. So, there is a play in here, it looks like. So, I am very interested. I need to start this. It's probably going to take me a while. It's a definite qualifier for Big Book Summer. It's 488 pages. And there is the name of the series. It is Children of the Last Days. And I was wrong. There are 7 books in the series, not 6. So, that is a very brief pile of possibilities. We all know it's not a realistic pile of possibilities because A, they're very thick, and B, I am not very good at keeping to said piles of possibilities, but I will read the ones that my brain is telling me that I must read. And I will be done with Gone with the Wind by the time 100 Days of Dante rolls around. That is my promise to myself. Okay, so let's life update. How's writing going? Writing is going fine. I did a bunch of editing, red line edits are done, and then I realized that my page count was not where I wanted it to be, and that threw my brain into a tizzy for a little bit. I've solved that issue. I now know what to do, figured it out. Why did I figure it out? Oh, that's because I picked up books and started reading again. I should know myself better by this point in my life. So while I may not be done as early as I anticipated that I would be, I'm okay with the delay. It will result in a better completed novel. So that's good. Summer's going well. Everything it's finally hot and humid, which has been the norm since we moved to Texas. But that is only in the last week. Before that, it has been an exceptionally wet and cooler summer than we are used to. And the break has been nice. So that has been good. And because the weather has been so goofy, all of my chickens are molting, which means they're not laying eggs, and they are molting a good 2.5 months earlier than normal. So there's that. I'm gonna have to buy commercial eggs, but that's okay. And I have a library haul, and I'm gonna tack it on at the end of this video. And I will put timestamps in, so if you don't want to watch the library haul, that's fine. And otherwise, leave a comment down below, like and subscribe, and I will see you here next time at the Protagonist Pub. No, go lay down. No, go lay down. Okay, library haul. I'm going to run through the books that I talk about either in this video or I mention in last one, Fireball, the upcoming August tag, very briefly, and I am looking forward to every book I talk about here. And this isn't even counting the audiobooks I have out. So no one should be surprised. Okay. First up would be The Librarianist by Patrick DeWitt. Then we have A Willing Murder by Jude Devereux. This is the first in the Medlar Mystery Trilogy. And then there is the third book in the Commissaire Dupin series by Jean-Luc Bandelat. That is The Fleur de Sel Murders. Pickles the Bird. And then we have Murder at Mina House by Erica Ruth Debler. This is a Jane Wonderly mystery. I believe this is the first in the series. Then we have The Authenticity Project by Claire Pooley. I read a Claire Pooley book last summer, and I absolutely fell in love with her storytelling. And this one I am looking forward to immensely. Then we have The Royal Assassin, a Victorian bookshop mystery by Kate Parker. I am returning this one because it is the third in the series, which I did not know. And it is the only one my library has, either electronically or physically. So I need to read these in order because that will drive my brain crazy. And then there's Birds of a Feather by Jacqueline Winspear. This is the second Maisie Dobbs book in the series, I am definitely looking forward to this. And this is a much shorter Maisie Dobbs book than the first one. This one is just over 300 pages. So, looking forward to that. Then we have The Summer Seekers by Sarah Morgan. Again, this is one I really want to somehow find time to read. Don't ask me how I'm going to do that, but I shall. It's not as long as I thought it was. There's a preview for another book. Oh, good. Yeah, it's just under 400 pages without the preview. 378. Maybe if I stop, sleeping, that I can see that happening. And then there's the Martha Hall Kelly, Martha's Vineyard Beach and Book Club book, which I talked about in this video. Look on the Bright Side by Kristen Higgins. And The Boardwalk Bookshop by Susan Mallory. So, those are all the ones I have talked about in previous videos. So, let's talk about the ones I haven't yet talked about. I did just finish The Grim Steeper by Gretchen Rue. This is the third book in the Witch's Brew mystery series. And it was just under 300 pages. It was okay. It wasn't my favorite by far, but it was light, easy, palate cleansing read. This is the one no, it is not. I'm pretty sure I talked about both of the Grim Steeper in this book. Sniffing Out Murder by Kaylee E. Benjamin. This is the first book in the Bailey the Bloodhound mystery series. I am currently in the process of reading this. I say that. I will finish it tonight. I have 145 pages left. And it is a compulsive, I need to know kind of read. So, I will finish this. It's set in Indiana. It is a cozy mystery. It is fantastic so far. I literally cannot put it down today. I can ask for nothing better in a mystery book. Okay. And I believe that's it for mysteries. It is. Okay. These are all romances. The chances are incredibly high. I'm going to read a Nancy Thayer. So this is Island Girls. These are just great beach read. She writes great beach read books set in Nantucket. And this one is 300 pages. Exactly. And I'll read you the first paragraph of the flap. Charming ladies' man Roy Randall dies with one last trick up his sleeve. His will includes a calculating clause mandating a summer-long reunion for his daughters, all from different marriages. That is, if they hope to inherit his posh Nantucket house. Relations among the three sisters are sour, thanks to long festering jealousies, resentments, and misunderstandings. Arden, a successful television host in Boston, hasn't been back to the island since her teenage years, when accusations of serious misbehavior led to her banishment. College professor Meg hopes to use her summer to finish a literary biography and avoid an amorous colleague. And secretive Jenny, an IT specialist, faces troubling questions about her identity while longing for her sister's acceptance. I am here for the family drama. So, again, it's highly likely. Okay, so the next three I need to know. First up would be Morbidly Yours by Ivy Fairbanks. This is a romance set in Ireland, and our female protagonist is a widow. Our male protagonist is a mortician, and it is, I believe, a fake dating trope. I love the fact that she has a past. He's, in a profession that isn't highly regarded, and I have to know. And it's not very thick, so it's going to be one of those quick reads. It's 330 pages. So, and it's not tiny font by any stretch. So, Yeah. Okay. That leads us to The Wedding Season by Katie Burchell. And I'll read you the back. Freya Scott is getting married. Her wedding to Matthew, her long-term boyfriend, is the first of 8 in her calendar this year. As someone who prides herself on being meticulously organized, Freya is intent on making it the perfect day to remember. But when Matthew calls things off hours before they walk down the aisle, Freya's entire life plan goes up in smoke. Humiliated and heartbroken, she finds the last thing she wants is to attend a summer of other people's nuptials on her own. Fortunately, her friends have an idea. Together, they devise a series of outrageous challenges for Freya to complete at each event, designed to distract her from Matthew and what might have been. From getting stuck in an old church bathroom and needing to be rescued by the vicar, to making out with a barman at a French chateau, Freya realizes that, despite herself, she might just be having fun. By the time the final wedding arrives, she will discover that the road to happy ending sometimes has unexpected detours, that I do is only the beginning, and that perhaps her own love story isn't over just yet. I need to know. Okay, and that brings us to Summer Fridays by Suzanne Rindell. And I love this cover. Pickles, nobody wants to listen to you. And I will read you the back. Summer 1999. 20-something Sawyer is striving to make it in New York. Between her assistant job in publishing, her secret dream of becoming a writer, and her upcoming wedding to her college boyfriend, her plate is full. Only one problem. She's facing an incredibly lonely summer, as her fiancé has been spending longer and longer hours at work with an all too close female colleague, Kendra. When Kendra's boyfriend, Nick, emails to invite Sawyer to meet up and compare notes about their suspicions, Sawyer's lonely summer takes an unexpected turn. She and Nick begin an unofficial ritual, exploring New York City together every summer Friday. From hot dogs on the Staten Island ferry, in sea breezes in a muggy East Village bar, to swimming at Coney Island, Sawyer feels seen by Nick in a way that surprises her. He pushes her to be braver, to ask for what she wants. Meanwhile, Sawyer draws Nick out of his hard shell, revealing a surprisingly vulnerable side. They both begin living for their Friday afternoons together. But what happens when summer is over? We all know New York is one of my least favorite settings of all time. And yet, I'm intrigued. I'm very, very intrigued by this book. So, we shall see what I think of it when I crack it open. Okay. That is the physical library book haul. I am sure there will be more in the future. Okay. Thank you for sticking around. What have you been reading? Let me know in the comments down below. If you've read any of these, let me know if they're worth my time. Like and subscribe, and I will see you here next time at the Protagonist Pub.